Hello, everybody, and welcome to this beautiful gathering tonight. I'm so happy to be able to host this and be able to introduce some of this great collaboration of a global prayer that started as a prayer for our world. And what we'll be doing tonight is going through it. It's a collaboration between the Center for Sacred Studies and the Society for Indigenous and Ancestral Wisdom and Healing. And I think that these two great organizations have the same goal, is to preserve Indigenous ways of prayer and to bring to you to be able to share this life in the Himalayas. You know, that it's very special. It's a very powerful prayer, and I ask that you add your prayers silently when we go into preserve the Bonpo tradition in that way and honor that. So we've got permission to do that, so that this can live on. And so what we'll do is I'm going to introduce you to a few of our beautiful collaborators, and then Ganesh will talk about, the Bonpo Sun will talk about our fundraising efforts in the prayer for the sacred sites in the Himalayas. So just a little bit about the Center for Sacred Studies is dedicated to sustaining ways of life based on collaboration and reciprocity with the earth and all of her beings. So this is a great part of our mission, to collaborate like this. And with this Society for Indigenous and Ancestral Wisdom and Healing that was started 37 years ago by Dr. Ruth Ingrid Hines. And this is the 20th year birthday for the Center for Sacred Studies. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce to one of the founding members of the Center for Sacred Studies and our spiritual director, Darlene Hunter, who will talk a little bit about a prayer line and lead us into a prayer.
Thank you, Valerie, for that introduction, and thank you to this collaboration that we're having in this moment with all these points that are sitting around the earth. And in 2020, I want to say that the Center for Sacred Studies, through a vision that was given, created a global prayer line to receive prayers, prayer requests from people, either through the telephone, if calling to get a connection on the other line, or through Gmail, css.valeriehausmann at gmail.com. And tonight we have that prayer line altar that has been lit and held by Lisa Sterling, who's also on this call, and is being held by all those that are on the prayer line team, which are made up of the Center for Sacred Studies ministers. And we offer this beautiful, if you can imagine, this golden web of prayer and light and love that is circling Mama Earth and holding us all at these really interesting and challenging times. So I want to say thank you to the prayer line team in collaboration with you, Valerie, and with you, Lucy, in holding this beautiful prayer tonight with Healing Master Bonpo and his beautiful family. And I'm so honored and privileged to be able to sit in this circle with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for trusting us with this very sacred moment. As we have been working and creating and helping you create a GoFundMe to preserve the sacred temple. So I want to just take a moment here, and for those of you who are listening and joining us tonight, if you just take a moment now and just really breathe into your bodies and breathe into your own sacred temple, this beautiful divine temple that allows you to walk around in this beautiful creation and to wake up inside of it. And as you do, breathe and just connect and let your hearts open, and we connect with each and every one of us in this great circle around Mother Earth with this global prayer tonight. And oh, Holy One, Creator, Mother, Father, God, all the ways that we know you. I give great thanks for our lives, that we can be here today on this beautiful, holy creation, our Mother Gaia, who provides us with everything we need. And for Father Sun, who brings the light, the fire, the passion that lives inside us, to the holy sacred waters of life that flow through us, around us, above us, that birthed us, and to this blessed breath of life that connects us all. I give great thanks for the wisdom of the 4 directions that help us to walk upright and in balance, aligned with Mother Earth and with her relatives, Star Nations. We all sit on here for the Pomo and the coastal Miwoks by the Pacific Ocean. I give great thanks for our relatives, for our children, our elders, our ancestors, whose shoulders we stand on, going all the way back to that first grandmother that dreamed us into existence and is still dreaming us now. I give great thanks at this time for our planet, that we can gather in sacred space to help our relatives from the Himalayas, the Bonpo, in preserving their ancient indigenous healing system that has been here for thousands and thousands of years, to protect and preserve all life forms. For these beautiful spirits who have been sharing their wisdom and knowledge with us to help us wake up just a little bit more and a little bit more. And through them, prayers for all people who are attending to the earth, for all of humanity. I give great thanks for this prayer of balance, that we may send up our prayers as we grieve and mourn those who have passed. We send our prayers to those suffering and those that are needing healing and solace at this time, those that have been forgotten. We pray for the strength to continue to go inward and work our shadow, to let go of our fear, to celebrate all life, and to be the change we need to be for equality and care for all of humanity, and to remember that all life on earth is sacred. We pray to bring balance to a world that is changing and breaking down, that we can turn towards what is breaking through with curiosity and understanding, with compassion and kindness, with forgiveness and love. I give great thanks for all the prayers that are in our hearts, for all those that sent in their prayers to the CSS prayer line. We include them and all those who could not join us tonight on the call, but are here in spirit. I give great thanks for this moment in time and for the privilege of collaboration, for this privilege of being together on this call tonight, of listening to the wisdom and the knowledge that is going to be shared with us, and for us each to make a difference, that we can dig down way deep inside and see how we can support this prayer that is emotion for this temple, that we can share with our friends and our relations, that we can make a difference right now in this tradition that has been here for this long, that has been taking care of life on this planet. And for each and every one, I give great thanks. I give great thanks. I give great thanks. Aho.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you, Darlene. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have to tell you that this prayer tonight is very powerful because my computer crashed. So they say, the elders say that when there's a powerful prayer like this, that things happen to try to. But I want to remind you to put your prayers in, and this prayer tonight is a return to balance, purification, empowerment, and protection. The Bonpo will bring us through purification, empowerment, protection. So put all your prayers tonight for yourself, for your families, for the water, for this COVID, for anything that you want, put it in there together tonight for all your loved ones that may need a little extra prayers. And so as we continue to unite with people in many countries, growing our prayers for the next 7 generations, I'd like to introduce Lucy Lewis, another collaborator on here. Go ahead, Lucy. And she's the director of the Society for Indigenous and Ancestral Wisdom and Healing.
It's such an honor to be here, and I'm so grateful for the collaboration with the Center for Sacred Studies. It's been just a beautiful gathering of energy of all of these beautiful energies from around the world. And our intention is to create a cloud of protection for the Bonpo, for the healing tradition, and for the community, and then that protection will radiate out to all of our friends in South America, in the Native Americans, our brothers and sisters in Africa, and all around the world, to return to balance, that we can all share this sincere wish. And the healing tradition of the Bon Lama has touched so many people here in California when he came to visit a few years ago, that it's been an inspiration of how an ancient teaching can be so relevant at this time. He reached out with his energy healing to so many people and has transformed their lives. So it's my intention that we can provide him and his community, that is the source of this wisdom, with protection. Ganesh is Bon Lama's son, and he has been instrumental in translating and bringing this wisdom into a Western framework. And he has been working tirelessly to preserve the traditions in his village. He's one of the only people from his village to receive Western academic training, and he's currently a professor in California. He's created a bridge between these two worlds, and it's my sincere prayer that we can continue to create these bridges between cultures. And I'd like to introduce tonight Ganesh Lama, who will do the translating for his father. Ganesh.
Thank you, Lucy, for my introduction, and thank you, everyone. Valerie, Victoria, Lisa, Darlene, Lucy, and all the team at the Sacred Studies and the Indigenous Wisdom Center for organizing this and giving us the opportunity to connect with each other. Okay, so the special thing about this, I feel, is that we are here together at this moment today. To strengthen ourselves, to purify ourselves, to help each other, okay, to be at the moment, to be at the present. And so that's all there is. So anything else is up to the spirit. Okay, so so my job here today is just to translate from and before that, I was asked to speak also about the sacred site preservation project that many of you probably receive invitation to contribute. What this is that those of you who have been to Nepal, you've probably been to Nepal, most likely in tourist places, the places that are known for tourism, that are normally either Mount Everest or some of the temples within Kathmandu, that is the capital of Nepal, or some other cities, maybe further south and border with India. There's a huge forest where people go for watching rhinos and tigers and lions, or maybe rafting and so on. But those are just on the surface, and that doesn't really tell a whole story about what Nepal is all about. And Nepal is one of the probably only places in the world that has preserved this ancient tradition we call Bonpo. Bonpo name, okay, Bonpo, we call Bonpo. So in the West, I know that most of the people are familiar with the Lama, so that is connected with Buddhism. But the Bonpo, it predates Lama traditions and all organized religious traditions. So Bonpos are Bonpos are human, but when we say Bonpo in that person, that means there's a spirit that lives in that person. So, so in Nepal, when you go to the villages that is outside the tourist place, the real people, especially among the indigenous people in Tamang community, that's what I belong to. And people will always say, look, I'm not a Bonpo, I'm not a Lama, so I don't know anything, okay? And so, so you probably, it makes sense if you heard about Lama, but you probably haven't heard about Bonpo. But Bonpo always comes. People always say, I'm not a Bonpo. Then they will say, I'm not a Lama, so I don't know anything what I'm saying. So I think I'll say the same thing today here. So I'm not a Bonpo and I'm not a Lama, although my last name is Lama, so I'm not really a trained word in Lama. And so I don't know what I'm saying. I'll just say as it comes to my mind. And so my job here is to help translate what my dad has to say. I may not be able to translate word for word as he is doing the healing, as he's doing the purification, he is doing the empowerment, but I'll give a sense of what that means. So this particular project that I'm doing some work, and we're all working on this, is for the Bonpos. The highest mountains are very, very important. So most of the sacred Bonpo spiritual centers are always on the top of the mountain, highest of the places. So these high places, so within Bonpo traditions, when Bonpos go for meditation, it's a special type of meditation called cham, where you don't eat, you drink only water, pure water. For people start with maybe 1 day, then 3 days, then 5 days, then 7 days, then 9 days, and so and so. But you have to go far away up in the mountain where there's no other humans. So a very, very isolated place. So you need to be very, very far away from communities. And as for that, Bonpos need very sacred places. Most of the places are very, very unreachable for ordinary people. Average people cannot go up that high. In fact, you don't just go there and do meditate. You have to be called to do that. Especially that message will come to you in your dream, where the spirit will tell you exactly which place you need to go and do meditate. So this tradition later on, you will see within the Lama traditions, which is sort of more softer version of that. A lot of time people meditate sitting inside a building, inside a nice monastery, comfortable, secure. So Bonpos, those kind of meditation won't work for Bonpos. Bonpos have to challenge themselves. At the highest level, you have to do what we call a poa, where you have to be able to separate yourself from your spirit with you. Then your body dies, and then your ability to come back and awaken. And so if you survive that training, then you become a Bonpo. Then everything that you speak comes through that spirit. So it's a very, very old tradition. So what is happening these days in Nepal is that these sacred mountains and the government are using these sacred sites as a tourist places destination. So what that happens is as more and more people go onto those places, not for this sacred spiritual purpose, pilgrimage purpose, but just to go up there, party, play loud music, and then they completely disrespect the spirit that lives there. And sadly, there are a lot of junk, a lot of plastic bottles they throw, they drink parties, and the beer bottles, and all kind of dirt that goes up in the mountain. And that has really caused a huge distress among the Bonpos. And Bonpos are very, very vulnerable in terms of their financial, political power. They don't really have any of those powers. And so it is with that contact, with the consultation with the Bonpos, that they have asked me if there's anything that I could help. And so I have offered that I will check with my friends back in the US if they would be, able to help, and ask them what they actually need. So what they need for this particular site is that this land is actually is a national park. But the national park is now being privatized and given to the tourist industries, which then will use those as to build hotels and others for tourists. So what Bonpos wants to do is to preserve at least the most sacred part of the land, the highest top of the mountain, so that they can prevent people claiming that privatizing that land. So, but they cannot do that until they have some kind of a structure. That's the sort of government regulation. Unless you have some structure on that particular place, you cannot say that nobody can come there. So it is that structure that we're trying to build. A small structure at this point, at least just to secure the land where others won't come and build a commercial structure. And so at this point, what we're trying to do is to build a small structure that is a meditation place that is inconsistent with the Bonpo tradition. So that place will be used for those who are interested to become a Bonpo, which are Bonpo who are interested learning healing traditions, learning medicines, herbal medicines, and so and so. So when you go through several stages of Bonpo training, so when people are ready to go that high up in the mountain, and to do that, and that place will be used for that purpose alone. So that is the this basic purpose of this project. So I'll be happy to talk more about that through other communication, through email, or if you want to just talk about this, I'll do that. But I know for today, you all are here because you want to hear the prayers, you want to hear the healing purification process, you want to see that. So I will, without further ado, I will ask my dad to do that. Okay, so as my dad start doing his prayers, please just keep to yourself, stay grounded, stay focused. Just think into yourself, okay? Give this moment just for you, okay, and for the world. So, from the birth until we die, we're always looking out. But here today, just for next few minutes, give it to yourself. And as everybody does that to each one of us, then I think everyone will be strengthened internally. So that is the basic purpose here. So I'm gonna ask my dad. Now, Abba, Tama, I say, take like Bisani, Tama Jamala, Tenda, to Jamban or the Damsuri, Dandi Sansari, Anek, Rokade Kazi, Ajabajab Kazi, was a Gata, Rokade Hatablabari, was it in Amlashi, Jamadan Paila Blau Chipino, Oche, Jamalan, Tigro, was a Rokari Hataptao Bishi, that she was a Gamlas Binoy. Does it? The son of Paila Sangla. The Paila Sangla Shio. Open a consider.
Mày có bên nào rồi thì mấy câu nói của bà ta nói chỉ cho có là phụ nữ ta sao làm gì đâu Ajaba tesan khala masan khala asini thangni parat in thangni wanda din thangni pai din thangni ma pai din dan haji mani bezam hiran judo wa ai ba ai do kap omona judo pawan guru da kap ji thai mo che da suban mula ai nên nó quả hỏi ngay trước đây thì chỉ trị rồi là ngày anh đến quả từ năm mới là chứ cô mà sáng làm cái gì bữa là cho bữa là đi trắng cho là trắng rồi là đó cũng lúc ta cứ gì đó hết gì cho năng mà ai mà được những kinh tế của bạn mà đó cả những đôi cái mai hara mai là yêu bạn mà ấy chúng ta ai xem mà cái là mà ngày anh ta tiền mà là man mà là đầu tiên ta để cho chúng đi mai của ta đi mai ta ngày cái vào của bạn mà này ta mà là nghe là bằng bên đồ bà काम बिंदु खासा से बिंदु खासा से काम का प्यार है ना पर प्यार है जी पर प्यार से बिंदु बना हुआ है ऐसे हम तो बंदा मल तो हम हिमाचली Quán lý đồn mà ta bằng lý đồn mà giang lý đồn mà nội lý đồn mà ta bằng lý ban mà ta ngay siêu siêu yếm phun vào đi mày bắt mà ta quán lý đồn mà ta quán lý chỉ nội lý mà nó nội lý chỉ sharing đồn mà ta sharing chỉ dù quy lý là ade anh ta ada angin sekarang tadi mungkin cuma mati tobat lagi robat si aman lagi bau lagi jogo bawan bedanya datang itu lagi jadi Tara juga sembi bangada bawan dah jalan bayana sampai namanya dah bawan tuji jalan mubadan katanya jalan tak kai beban muda sudah dona angai dengar tak aja apa bodi lah bayar aja bodi bayar kaba desan kasai dulu Ajabar lo khaba kali zaman silsi angsi pindora sosori sibaba waktu pindora si kangai kangai kawal dah si pindora si bawan dobai kori thongba saya le maceta nai human mula saya le maceta suci saya le maceta Ramad là cuman lagu kesubuhan muda saya Hanuman guru dah cuci so saya Hanuman guru juga kalau mau nanti jam munam kaya di nangri to hamba sampai maku nangri to hamba jadi nggak nangri uang hamba tahu sih nama tu saya Hanuman guru bebas janun do hamba janun tak hamba bebas lagi tu apa tu mana nangri do hamba tapi selama ni saya Hanuman tak jumpa 그래 내지 아래 아가 갔다 아자바로 가라. 아자바 대상 가라 마상 가라 대신 나무 아래 아가 갔다 잡아 살아있지. 라도 갔다 사마다 쓰고 싹은 나빠도 싹은 뭐 그지. 셋이 셋이 감시 감시 아래 아가 갔다 아무 갔구나 우리 아래 갔지 랑난 아래 갔지 랑감시 랑난 나나 보링 랑난 아마 아루 도시 내 가래 잡아다시 잡아다가요 네 상을 가지 라스로 그리고 아마는 상을 잡아다시 주는데 나가다 벌리지 제발 나가다가 벌리뻔 뭐라 세계를 못해서 벌리뻔 뭐라 그를 못해서 벌리뻔 뭐라 잡아제다가 가봐 지어버제다가 와 아무 사람아 나는 불행 아루 안에 몸가래 그 자만의 아마 그것이 잡았다가 시탄 하다고 어머 왜 나무 들이 도바니 나네고 내네고 살아봐들이 도마 수다마보디 하나리 아네고 내네고 살아봐들이 도보 소로로 주림도 아유마결랑 아들이 좋아 사랑의 저리 소마니 내가 하나리 그마다 비어내도 사라진 아른가의 돌이 나로 보나도 용하셔라저리 보나도 노라저리 남아상의 도염 오바데레 보고 나르고 한데나상의 제도 통바 살아바다 나바이 그래가 하리 후로 살바dim 야하나디 샤템 수나디 자마버가 차바리 디글라스레야다고 오다 안경이 되겠나 상에 뭐대세 응이고마 야상에 뭐대세 아감니 로너르본 나로 아버지 미하의 신기 고마짐 거의 신기 고원다 거의 신기 세바나면 미라라마 미여도 나로 번제가 다 쏟아나가 하짐 미시 거의 신기 제땀바 너도 나디 샤바리 도보자마 가랑아 잼도자마 바도지 사와이 신이 여이지 그의 제행의 발랑이 나와 너로 보노 Koha 그 말이 집어라 아더니 대니마니마 카이도지 가당아 도지 집어다 우와 나는 본다 비라다지 사디나하나 고도 바시 카리시 카웨시 카이라노주 두보장하리 사다도 두가아바이 수여행가하리 참단고야 너의 신기가 자나나의 동거의 자나나의 내너의 자나나의 양연지와라라도 에나로 번제시우지 야 정말 거의 신예서 야 자지 나디 사지야 나디 잠보딩아 잡아디 로나루 아성예 뭐제다 주다디 과정기에 말씀을 짜고 좀 야성예다 야 내 자라 좀 생기 네 강낭기 nep니 제가 담의 야 고다시 야 đâu 이담 교회모바 귀모바 통발이 이니 귀 아래 아버지 나마 로 아이스마 고라바리니게 아냐주 이담 교회링아 뭐바 담마랭 차바 교회 뭐바 님은 좀 바가 도좀 바가 다시 잠만 कोई 교회 같이 사차지 좀 바가다지 님은 유모양 김으로 이거 보지 이랑바 유모양 좀 바가리 유모양 김으로 이빨 유모양 바벨라리 생계시 띠그라좀 쭉 날았어 맞아 나라삭 이 무슨 무버좀 되지 배람 저거 자고 안는 게 되지 이나기 조짐으로 또 생겼지 이렇게 좀 다리 조시 응마시 브라마 니만 바이 이거는 이제 샤 뭐라 나가야지 나가 하이다 지냐 봐. 헤이 나지라 나는 사지 따고 진짜라베. 이거 어디야지? 자라베. 자나는 이게 고다지 냐지. 자. 캡다지. 캡다지. 아마야데 지나지. 주의효지. 주의마지 나가세 랑라이지 송도지 사도지 하이니버다지 하이니버 띵바버요 생게지 띵라세 나루고 잡아지 기도지 지하양바 대신 니만 네 이런 거 브라리 Sangye Singala, Sokti Mubajim. Nala, and Saki Chim, what? This is some teaching on the key controller. This is the charge of the good way. Valerie is the Haji. She don't see, and Kisangi, Tungangi, Sarah said Hungi, and said Hungu, Nala Saki Chim. I sang it when ready. We some. So, and she made Honzi, Tungi, Gonu Haji, Miari. Tamadi glass, eh? Sang it, Mose. Swati, Sangala Santi Haji, made a cheese honey. So near the big glass, a young Kangi, Kaido say. Now what? May I come? I the Sati say that some more. Sang it, Nuji, Naruvanda. Yeah, make a wedding to you there. Muri Tibling, Shaggy, Castle Twenty Tibling, Chugi, Valerie did the Tama Jawai. Children, what I am say. Tibling. Chava Badi Mushangi, Sorankaji Mushangi, Soyam Mushangi. It was a study of us. He told them, he told me, you money, it was my maid for him. Not you, whatever one mother. He told me, he told me, maid honey, maid Rumangi, maid Rumangi, Ruman, but a sucky. Why got it? Tabai Gama. So, one more than Ray, Lama Saki before that one more. Lama Saki, Chitachi, one more Saki Madati, one more Chitachi, Naga Chati, Lama la Penny, one more tears and more. Taban Mula, Tabai Gama. What do I put on
I the blow the Limila, blow the Blahan Loge. Blow the Viva, Blahan Loge.
Laugh at one. I did it. You
No, I not the pilot blow. So,
either what over than land on the
some blow
but nobody.
some China Brongai below. So, those of you, well, maybe all of you, all of us, what he just did so far is in the beginning, he did So I'm gonna just explain briefly what he has just done, then he's gonna do the next. What he has done so far is in the beginning, he did the cleansing of the environment, purification of the environment. And then, so when you do the purification, those of you who are in the last presentation, you probably already know. So I'm going to repeat here for the benefits of those of you who are new today. So when you call upon the spirit, you first have to prepare the ground. So the way you prepare the ground is by purification. So how do you purify the ground? So first you purify through water and smoke and the flower. So you'll see here we have placed some flowers because flower presents the most pure form of existence, the beauty. You cannot beautify a flower, and you cannot purify water that is at the purest form. And so water purifies things that are substantial, more solid. And so the flower purifies your sight. Okay? And the smoke purifies the environment. And so that's why it's important that you have some smoke in your home to purify the air. So as we did that, he also called after having done that, he called upon the spirit to come here to be present with all of us, with each one of you. Okay. And then after that, he called upon the spirit itself with some in a prayer form, that is the specific sound that he uses. And when he did that, he mentioned many different names. It's beginning from the creation of the whole universe, and then creation of humans and the birds and all the animals, those that live underground, those that live on the surface, and those who live above. So all the living beings that many of them self-arose, like the Bonpo and the Lama, Sangye, and they self-arose. They were not born of humans. And then those that are born of our parents and the original parents that came, that were created here. So he called upon all of those, and those are same for all of us. That's how we're all connected. And so after he has called unto that, and then he gave some examples of how fire was created, who created the fire for the first time, why we have a fire, who created the water, who created the plants, and so on. So he spoke on that. So I'll be happy to talk a little more on detail what he said, but in the interest of time, and he wants to continue, so I'll leave it as at it for now. Then towards the end, then we'll have a Q&A session where I can speak more to that. La, tama lo. Blah the mega the moment blah chedu chipino blah chipino. So at this time, so you please keep yourself, and maybe you can tell your name to yourself, okay, as he does it, so that so you'll hear that, although we're not hearing, but you'll feel it, you'll hear it, okay.
Lord, love, way to Nagariwa, Torati, Gaza, Sigara, Suama Gato, Sayam Ode, Raha, Kahaya. Lord, Asine, so Adin, Paradin, Adavajuki, Ahado, Lavena, Rika, Pirana, Suda, Ya, Unanga, Dina, Ana, Sayam, Vajra, Om Bajare Om Bajare Om Bajare Om Sange Ambosi Purona Tapsi Om Ma Om Ma Om Pesana Yana Juda Masan Yana Juda Yana Juda Payu Yana Juda Oshigo Yana Juda Yana Nam Nam Kadireka Kirana Juda Sabina Kunareka Kirana Lava Vedona Veka Kirana Juda Amagabu Dihina Ria Tondo Mazuba Logo Sanye Cheza Wedo Shuji Ahaba Yahabirana Juji Look Jamavare Dharma Guru Dashiji Jamavare Dharma Dashiji Javanoti Dharma Guru Dash Dharma Guru Dash Chira Dharma Guru Dash Chirida Sula Bari Dharma Dawari Sula Bari Dharma no ye Dharma Dharma no Mohade Se no Mohda no Mohde Wari Dharma Wari no get no Vashi no Raha no Bodhi Subhada Amala Jodi Mana Ana Subhada Kada Bara Go Nani Away Do Jabadi Jabaka Hodi Way Do Jibdi Yati Sherry Hodi No way do Jabaki Hiraga Dorbo Boro Radendi Dormada Ya Ganga Dinga Ganga Hakilde Kididi Kilogode Shoma Kidde Shiwadamare Kilo Dawai Kidde Kamba Johari Chedo de Tima Tamba de Chedo Ledamana Yuana Parita Jogo 아마가고래 나하리 까마나리 키로리 나나리 라와이로 기다리 야 그토 강가지나 야가하자마 구루시가 또라요도 마라주도 주에나무리가 기도 주가오데 야고 여보 가라보나 통릉 가라보나 자부 가라보나 자부 가라보나 공나 장보나 리가 야 들어가오리 아마나 또야 저바리가 저바제가 주도 주고 수강하는 제가 왜 남거리나 제가고 자보가라보라 공하자마 나가리가 채가오네 제가 말도 쓰고 라라해봐도 즐거운 대바에 나잖아 원자라다 나리가 라고로 뭐 생일에 뭐지 고로라 담지 가 즐거우니 나보에도 시바비시 러니 외셔샤비 띠니 외셔샤비 즐거워 여기 위라모들이 정말 너르고나 카시가 최고 그녀의 മന세가 할 수 있어요. 나야 최고 저리만 잡고 다 담치 잡고 최고 세하노만 그룹이 빠보나가이 너무 뭐say muốn bay đi mà bị nếu vậy sẽ apa bahwa nanti musai saya numan kurus pada way lagu sego 엄마 sego ya kamu
sama 이제 라면 이제 틱달로 좀 된다. 그럼 틱달로 있지.
ini melawan apa yang dia tamat dan tamat kita dah bema muraba ini dan muraba kamu ba lungan laba kita mengapa mengapa long haba ta joyi haba lungan dabari kamu ngai ija lawa sanggeta jamsi ija naiba theka de pangki pino behinga bagrici ya mago khala joyi khala dinda khala besi ngasaba naro bonda suisi zaman pangki pino behinga bagrici bitmola saya hanuman guru da suji bema man musam thesis sudah belajar pina bela masan ya dangri mudi lahan badangri mudi lahan mula bayu nangri masan nangri aku sebelah kamula itu Hanuman sih sebelah kamula jago Hanuman berjaya di kamula kesejam dohai wamsi kecil di belajar ya belajar kasih bakamula Hanuman saya sebelah Arus sebelah bah kamula kapan dah bisa akamula kawan bebasnya cara se labuji kai boji cara bebasa cikgu sebelum laban nangri laba siapa nangri mula pula cara orang laban nangda belajar aku siapa kamula kau siapa kamula ngajar tu dari sana lah baik kau sana lagi Jego argo sana lah kamu kau siapa lah kamu jego tamu ada kau bimandari mother We let him miss say to the Haiba, Taina Kamba, Judy Mati, Taina Kamba, Kawa Najangina, Kawa Lipa Durvinja Kamba, Kawa Mother, we just Durvinja, Chiribrangba, Sisi Mati Rangba, Kabarama Kawa, Durvinja Kamba, the Kawa Najak, what's it, and Hanuman people, Hanuman Pikamuna, the Munangri. Lan nagri do hamba, ini nagri do hamba, dongri do hamba, perhatian dari do, chong nagri uang gamba. Tapi dalam Hanuman ngajar gamula, wajar heni saja, pakamula bela, agak paham bela. Kalau dalam henda, mula bakala henda. Cabari damla, cabari bakala, mula bakala, tapi dalam tu, lu khabar do, agari.
So, he did the empowerment ceremony. What he just done is you should feel it in your heart. You should have felt. And I asked after having performed him that what will happen to you? You should, at the minimum tonight, you should feel in your dream. You should feel a difference in your dream, in your sleep. And so, so what does that mean? So if you are having some difficulties in sleeping, you should have a better sleep. If you have a deep fear, trauma in your mind, you should be free from that. If you are suffering from other diseases, you should feel more lightened up. What he has done is shielded you from all these impurities. All the diseases, including coronavirus and all others, are coming because of the impurities in this world. So he, having cleansed it, at least for you as individuals, should feel a difference. And he has called upon the spirit to come to you. So what is that spirit that he has called to you? It is your own spirit that has been dissipated. It is your own life forces that has been dissipated over time. So it has solidified, crystallized those strength inside you. So at a personal level, you should feel some benefits of having been here together with all of us here today in his presence today. For the greater world, he has dispelled, he has asked the spirit to dispel all the harmful beings, including the viruses. So now here, here's a little different between the Lama traditions and the Bonpo tradition, the Buddhist tradition and the Bonpo traditions. So within the Buddhist tradition, we care for all sentient beings. So if the virus is also considered as sentient beings, then we should also care for that. But here in the Bonpo tradition, takes a little different approach to that. Here we are mostly concerned with the human well-being at this point. For that reason, anything that is not in the benefits of human well-being need to be subdued. So if it is the virus, then virus will be subdued. If it is something else, that will be. And so this is where I think a lot of time you will see a little bit of a contradiction between Bonpo and Lama, and that is where the Buddhism and the Bonpo originally, so the point of diversion, so to speak. And it starts from the Guru Rinpoche, when the Nyingma tradition, Vajrayana, came into place. So it's a little different from the Buddha's teaching, but it is more to do with what became a Nyingma tradition. Those of you who are familiar with the Buddhist tradition, there's a Vajrayana or Mahayana tradition. There are Nyingma, Gelug, Kagyu, Sakyapa, and so and so. So here, Bonpo and Lama sometimes has this point of contention to that understanding, where Bonpo thinks that things that are harmful to humans, it's okay to subdue them. But if you truly believe in original Buddhist thinking, then if we consider all sentient beings, then you should also wish well-being for the virus. That means whether then you have a choice, whether you want to surrender your body to the virus, then die, or you want to subdue the virus, then live longer. Right? And so I just wanted to make a little clarity here, so that you're not confused, or I'm not confusing myself. And so here what you have done is, in fact, calling onto the spirit, the original life giver spirit, that, because we all have life. Life is what never dies. By our life, the energy, central life force, the energy doesn't die. It never dies. It's only the body that disintegrates. And so he is calling upon that spirit, the life itself, to strengthen. Okay, and so that's what he has done. And so at the minimum, you should feel, I'm sure many of you may have felt, that at least during tonight when you sleep, you should feel some difference in your own personal life. And as you said, for the greater world, what is needed is the purification. That's what he has done to the best of his ability. So I'm going to ask him if he has some more to offer for today, and I think he has a lot more, but I don't know how much time we have. So let me take a break, and then let me ask the organizing committee, Valerie, Darlene, and Lisa. Do you have? How much time do we have, and how should we proceed?
Well, I think that it is, everything's going okay. And yes, if he has something to add, that'd be wonderful, and at the end, if people have questions, we'll leave some time for that, but I think we're okay. Let's ask the cosmic DJ, Margine. Are we good to, okay? We won't.
Yes, absolutely. We can continue.
All right, we got to go.
Okay. So argo dama argo I said tik full kamlaro thenda tik la kamlaro dama. Argo tik la kamlaro. So I said che dubji plow je in. Argo tik la do tik kamlaro tik jabala tik la.
Ayo
Huh?
some chevino
Allah.
Yes, Chevino ayo the bino dama. Tama ayo the visivino. Ayo. Yeah. Desan yalji, masan yalji, then ro yalji, ro kani yalji, nalaji, ayo ban jinta sa, angji, tama tenga tipin ba, some nagam je, I said pin ba.
So what he has done so far is he's dispelled the diseases, dispelled the impurities, dispelled the misfortune, dispelled all other things that's negative. So I asked him, having done that, now what else can you offer? Okay, so he says now what he's going to offer is the increasing of your life, okay? Lengthening your life. How best we have a better way to say in our language, but I'm lacking some words here. So it's sort of a blessings, the giving abundance of health. Okay. So not just the blocking or shielding you from or eradicating the negative energies, but adding more to the source of life, to strengthen, to build, to further your life. Okay.
Lama Sai warga ba asyik sim lama da sai warga je ba dim dama sai warga gori 25 वर्षाचा बोलमै घाप्से हे आयु कप्पा रामा 125 वर्षाचा पहिला मान्छे जीवन मला बोलबोला तांगोली इजा साथाबा नमस्याबा इजा nani ku thaba dei nani ku deni ku thaba dei thumma dei tu sa thumma so da ki ba dei yumma ki lang ki ba dei singen nadi dei pero dabgan mendo thaba dei thumma na bona khase damse ja dama so amasarala nana buring amakade zaman mati bumbakade zaman amasarala nana buring zaman jingman gai soisi khabar mula zaman kan ya 25 वर्ष पहिला गरेका मान्छे नै 125 वर्ष चला आयु तला तम्बङ खबर मुला माछेनन् तमा ओदारी 125 जने पक्का से खाली हाडन हैन आयु पिन बने गए मै भन्नुला यो पाब्रे अब जति मगा धार बजेरे मुला तपाईलामा 125 वर्षका नै आयु धनन मगोदन दिपजवलो ओदन ना पिनमा गए मोदन बिना तर 125 कुनै कुनै चाहिँ हिसाबला अनि सही वर्ष छ गरे बादा हिँड्दा दिमा आयु होते जगै रिपा पक्का से गदा म
तम रिदोले तम आयु रिचिपिन हो
आयु दा तम नो
मोलम लाउ तम आयु मोलम
kawai sarba pelari kuba nalu wana khasi tamsi hangere mote sarba dila sarba diri wana nga tekna ta thukmo nalu bone na mrawai singi 14 sai mrawai singi audari केदासी धन्डे 400 औदारी चरीमा कवै नंगरे औदारी खेजुम कवै नंगसे धन्ने थुम्बा पर्खा मिलोरी दोगाजी नारुबोन मिलोरी toga bayan cheja parkar khas damona da dhela guru are site are tuli rona narubona site are guru are abai ab rangi sau thumba sedama damona dam tegan ta bare tabai dama na visa visa nung makan mana sungi haji sungi dama sunyan je bala putara nanda la se sungi male bekam guru nanda ngayon khasa jipena prasa jipena Kang mabiang na la babiang na la hai ji babiang na la bari mula la guru ngai suban mula chu kuire de la nana angada chedupa pradupa ayuda pulva tuai namde ayuda Gulbari Lord Siring Yoma Siring Dolmo Laguru Scopanmola Soma Ripa Kaime Apupa Kaime Ripa Adabashilama Joma Siring Dolmo Guru Suji One is one the thứ rồi mà cái tuổi gì bởi hàng năm mỗi năm cái năng đi yêu bà lâm bà cái gì bảo quan thì bà cái mấy ai thì bà cái mấy để thì bà ada bây giờ mà bảo quan nó là một chuyện như thế cái quá thì bởi nên là bởi ama sao là nên là bởi răng lên bởi răng mất này Subhamala Samadan kada Subhamala Bhagwan na rang ba yang na chuni che ne ngai ama aba na boli na lai rang ba Bhagwan na de bam akha da pani yakse pachi par kha jang na ayu kada ba ta gai di ban mo na anga ama sa la mi ga de mo la de ma em đó ayu suốt ngày kêu gầy cho nó mẹ tiền mẹ gầy ra đi vậy sao chỉ này sao chim cứ là xa gầy đến ra sao bị bật cây này khác gì đâu vậy giờ mình ngay cặp mình ngay giờ mình ngay quá thì vẫn muốn đó yang đó ayu vừa Bhagwan yang mata kaiwa nana bori ama sora ngawate Bhagwan भी वो कहने ऐसी बात सारे इसी बात
I will speak in first language in his word and just to give some authenticity to that what he says. So brothers and sisters, you all of you are my mothers, and all of you are my fathers, like sisters and brothers. You all came here to ask this old man for blessings. I am the reincarnations of the first human that was self-arisen here during the time when there was 9 sun and the 9 moon, when there's no earth, when there's no other planets. At that point, at that time, as I came on this planet, on this earth, over time, I've taken many reincarnations. At this current moment, I am the reincarnations of the original first spirit that existed, that made all this universe possible. And having lived in the form of peacock for 1400 years, I've taken a life in the human form. It is with that spirit that I give you the blessings for your life. May your life be strengthened like the mountains that never moves by the wind, that are covered, blessed. May your life health be blessed like the snow on the pristine mountains, as high as the mountains, as vast as the space, as deep as the ocean. That that our lives, all of us, be one with the spirit, the God spirit, the higher level consciousness that never dies, that we live forever. May we be one with that God. Thank you. So this is very short in what he has said. I've missed out a lot. Maybe I think I only captured about 10% of what he said. And the basic concept here is that when we call upon the spirit, the consciousness or God or deities or whatnot, so there are many different types of spirits. Okay, there are spirits that live underground. There are spirits that live on the surface. There are spirits that live on the sky. Here we're calling on the spirit that live in the sky, and not all spirits are good spirits. There are bad spirits and harmful. And so I know in the U.S., in America, especially in the West, we always talk about the spirit, mind, body, spirit, and those are very narrow and very shallow understanding what a spirit is. There's hundreds of millions of different spirits. Okay? So here we're calling upon the original spirit, the spirit that is the life giver, the life spirit that exists in all of us. We're actually in one. So it is just illusion that we have different body, therefore we feel like we're different people, but in fact we're the same spirit. It is that spirit that we call upon. That is what gives us life. That's what brings us all together. And so that spirit never dies. That is the God spirit. God never dies. And God is never a private thing. Okay, nobody can privatize God. And it's like the sun. So he said that our life be like the sun, like the moon, like the lightning, that nothing can contaminate it. Nothing can make it impure. So that's as with this, that may we live like the sun, like the moon, and may our lives be as long as the river and the ocean, and then as high, as unmovable as the mountain itself, such that we will be able to meet again in spirit and in person. So that's what he said, okay, in a nutshell. So I will stop right here and then open up for questions, and then so
Yeah.
I think I think Lisa has a couple of questions. If it's if it's a good time to take it now.
Yeah, Lisa, why don't you read the question? That kind of goes with what you were talking about, like where this power comes from or where we're being blessed. But Lisa, can you read the
maybe
question?
when you read the question, also tell us the name of the person who asked the
Okay.
question, so that we can connect with them.
Thank you. There is a question from Janet Evans asking, is this a spirit of a mountain, or what type of being is being channeled? I'm not clear what and from whom we're receiving these gifts. Thank you.
Very good question. So I'm gonna, I kind of know the answer, but I'll have him speak and then I'll translate for you. 앞서 the 호텔라다 호진인 호텔라자 카지발라라 호자주 히말리 지발라기 무리 지발라기 사리 지발라기 카랑발라다 아이세 담이랑 호토로게 아이세 호텔라 카지발라라 아이세 호텔라 카지발라라게 호텔 히말리 지발라기 사리 지발라기 무리 지발라기 카지발라다 아이세 호지 빈제로
에 사리 집을 좀 봐요 그 집에서 마산 집아 봐요 말마시 집아 해 뭐지 되게 ngay một ba tôi ra bảo anh tham gia là bảo anh một bà tôi ra ý mà tôi nói bác là tôi khổ là chỉ cái một bây giờ đi năm bộ ra bà một bà ngay là bộ ra bà đồ bà sát với tôi bây nó là đồ bà tôi khổ mình cho chơi bà mình là lát chơi bà kỹ chơi bà ý mà đi đánh giá bà chứ ý mà đi đánh giá bà lan một bà tôi ra muốn làm cái gì làm gì thì bà thúc lô biết bà chị chân ra mà bà quan cả này khi đi ta đi thì có bài của bà này sẽ ra rồi.
Okay, so he says, so he doesn't call upon the spirit that live on the surf on the ground. The Bayu is also it's a Sanskrit term, but also we use it. So the spirit that exists on the surface or on the ground or the level is a very, very dark spirit. It's a harmful spirit, and there are actually spirit that is blood, who seek blood, blood-eating spirits, and so and so. So there's no point calling on. In fact, you do not want to wake them up. Okay, so what he calls upon the spirit is a spirit that does live. Some of them live on the mountain, the higher pure form. If that mountain is still pure. But what he calls on the spirit is thus one that who lives on the sky. The spirit that lives, whose domain is the sun, whose domain is the moon, whose domain is the other planets. So that's the spirit he calls upon.
Wonderful. And we have another question that came up. Go ahead, Lisa.
Although we've actually had a couple of questions come in. One is from Nora, who says, thank you very much for your prayers and protections. How may we share in the protection of all sentient beings and spread this as well as universal love?
To mulai dalam arko question arko tiga semi dalam to yang je dami is a lajain dama tenji kaba migatam dam tenda rangda jabata kai biwang laji to dama to sansar la zaman midagi zaman milu ikata to sansar la milu ikata zaman jada labari tikla ma to zaman thopla okay janla zaman thopla la tikla dor
Susanjari Jamarin Jabatabari.
tikla dor
Susanjari Jamarin Jabatabari. So Bhagwan Banda Kapakune no nai. Bhagwan Vipasheti Gusan his a curry Purva Jaman part what Jaman Brangba. La blue Jaman Brangba cheese Rachesan Brangba Bayu Parbansi Jaman Brangba Selama Bhagwan Banda Kapakune no nai. Bhagwan Jiri Thumbaja Dande Bhagwan Ngamde Thumba Narubon Jim Wada Jiri Lama Sange Jim Sange Lagamrija Bohidanyani Jim. Right? Other Danyani Bibam Jugri Dande that Danyani Binay Natana Danyani Bivame, what was the brain at home by one woman none then John John born with him, none about him. Nata. Taman Nancy Pira Blama got Jochi Suchi, Jotai Jamengi, Nanda Jamen, but Taba, what the Divisa Lama. Thank you. So, young here. Zaman Sava Bibam Rathe, Kevichanan Ratanan, Luni Ratanan, Naki Ratanan, Zaman Rathe, young Java Jiva Mola, Masan, Bayu, Parma, young Dun Java, my way, Mola. Young Java, my Bibam, Totla, Pawan, Sandra Susa, brave party, Susa baby, young Aja. Hey, but the Taba Punelo Nare, Tamatense, Gondova, Tende Yari Ladova, Tende Zoya, Shabaladova, Botikunam Radova, Cuban, Mutin and Tanti, Hanba, Heda, Tuki Brava, Query Brava, Hada some Tede. What about the Javati reality?
So how do we reach out to everyone, all the sentient beings, and to empower all of them? So there are many different level of existence, and the existence, the highest existence is the. So here we call it Bhagawan, and this word is sort of there's no really word translation. We use the word Bhagawan, that is also a Sanskrit word, but it is the highest of the highest spirit, the God, that actually makes the life form possible, that we share. Okay. So below that there's the Narubon, then below that then the Sangye, then below that there's many different deities, and that depend there's many different level of the spirits that exist, and they all have different abilities. So here we're calling on the highest of highest. Now, when you talk about different level of spirits, a human is at different level. Then below us also there are many different levels of spirits. And so if you look at the world, and when you talk about sentient beings, there are a lot of sentient beings on this planet that are predatory to one another. That the insect is eating on the insect. Constantly you see the ant is killing other. Then there's all sorts of chaos and all sorts of things going on in this world, even looking at the tigers, the lions, or hyenas, whatnot. And if you just walk in the jungle, you will see everybody will be prying on your health, on your life, trying to, kill each other. So there are spirits like that, and the kind of beings like that. So here, what do we do? Okay, if we want to wish everyone to be empowered, and we really want to be protected, and so and so. And so here, so the only thing that we can pray onto is the one that is the life creator itself, the giver itself. That is actually, we are one with that. All the sentient beings are one, but we humans are at that. If you look at the stages of different the abilities. So the highest level of the God or spirit or consciousness that we talk about, it is omnipresent. It is omniscient. They can see everything, dark, bad, good, everything. They can see everything. So it is to that, and that spirit is harmless. That's only beneficial. Okay, that's the only benefit. They're not like the spirit of the tiger, the spirit of the snake or so and so, that will try to harm other being, may not be necessarily human. So we call onto that highest spirit that is beneficial. So how do we do that then? How do we do each sentient beings? So in the morning or in the evening, as a person, that is beyond like organizing things like this today to come together and so and so. Of course, it has to one has to develop that consciousness. But as an individual level, personally for each one of us here, what you can do is early in the morning and at night. It's just simply with this the purest of the intentions to wishing for the protection of all sentient beings. Just offer a pure bowl of water and a flower and a burning incense and light a candle. With that, call upon that spirit and sincerely wish to be protected, sincerely wish to be empowered, sincerely wish to that, because it's the light. When we light the candle, that light carries that spirit. So you will communicate that with even if it's an individual that you're wishing for other person, if you're wishing for that all sentient beings, just do that early in the morning and in the evening, just these three things, okay? Lighting a candle in a bowl of water, purest water, and the flower, then lighting incense. You do that with the purest of your intention, with the sincerity of your heart. That alone will transform the world, and that alone will go far to help each sentient beings. That's what he said.
That's wonderful. Wow. Thank you, Abba, for your wonderful. We have a couple more questions, but we're going to see if we have time. But I wanted to make sure to tell people that they can donate to help save this sacred prayer site with our GoFundMe that we'll post in the chat again, that we're trying to raise $10,000 before July 15th. So Ganesha can facilitate the building of a shrine there to protect that spot. So our goal is $10,000. Also, we're still fundraising here at the Guerneville Center, and we're selling beautiful items that are on our online store at the Center for Sacred Studies that the Healing Master Bonpo, your brother, have painted. So we still have those, and that helps go directly to help rebuild your the Bonpo's home after he lost it in the earthquake. We're actually looking at one story, the first story, and the other story has not been finished yet. So we want to help him rebuild his home still. And there's some sacred items on the store. Also, the Society of Indigenous and Ancestral Wisdom and Healing. We wanted to mention that, put that in the link. Lisa's wonderful about doing that. And the Center for Sacred Studies. And also my email, that if we miss any of the questions, that we can, they can email me and then I can send them to you, Ganesha, and maybe.
Yes, Or we are quite pretty much available. So I'm trying to set up a system where I don't have to be physically present here. I could be one of the attendants, and I can translate for that, and so I could be anywhere. And even if I'm back in the U.S. or not at home with my dad, so we can still stay in communication. So, but we are pretty available. We want to be accessible anytime, in any place. So if people have questions, you can have just contact us directly, then we'll be happy to connect with you at personal level as an individual. So yeah, through email or whatnot, or Valerie, if you wish to just keep the link open and people can come, and I can also put my link over there so people can check with us. So yeah, so we'll be available. So any questions you have, we will.
I also want to mention that are there still private? I had an amazing private session with the
With the Bonpo.
Yeah. So are you still giving private sessions that people can find out about? Because that was amazing.
Sure, yeah. Just let us know if you're interested to meet him personally, and of course personally on Zoom. So I'll be happy to facilitate that.
Yeah, if they want to email me, I could get the information to you. And
sure, yes.
If you have a specific healing that more detailed, that rare opportunities available for people. So do you think you want to take another question, or are we?
Yeah, sure. We're okay. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, I've got to find it. Loose. Okay. There was a question from, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Kaneoe Ramabella. Yeah. Can His Holiness Bonpo list events of creation as he witnessed them, please?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the question correctly.
Can His Holiness list events of creation as he witnessed them?
Okay. About the maise dam dolo is a tigro midi classy chaji sati classy chaji besi sungzini was it ama paila tiktaji tiktaji I say sung hamlaro paila jo prithvi chajigi lani chajigi dini chajigi was it ama sa chajigi dama is a tigro mi chajigi argo charachuringi chajigi kaila paila yung bacha jegi kuisha jegi pilot tik daji I say sungam laro I say tik menang jero one was tik menang jero
ama paira tu kamudere lema nguyên nani ku dini ku sarba diri sudah mendengar 동연 좀 강고 잠만 뭐가 대단히 나니고 찾지 내니고 찾지 총이 오래서 그것이 너무 쏟아지지 용의 그런 거지 그런 여자지 그때까지 주자 뭐래니 기 또는 강폭지 쭉 꼬리 지리 용마 사브라 겨랑 줄만은 나디 용마 겨랑 용마라 사브라라 잠만 끼도지 지리 계셔야지 냥나 계도 도지 사바이다마 지리 여일링가 찾아시 때까지 민의 Viva Valerie, to join angry payment of your window 30, sell the jury, fairly Narabon Tungim, Nobler jury, Sanger, much at Tungim. Tungdai he. God got me all over the cover of that, eh? Do that more, Timula. Tungi, Kama, while of somebody, I come near him. Kama, join angry for up the Kai hit over there. Kama, Kama. Thung đúng không? Yang cái đi mà cảm tiếc lắm phải không? Để đại chứ mình lấy mình còn lấy cho lại tâm người thì muốn là cảm ơn chú duy tiếc lấy thì ngàn cái là tiếc lấy sao mà thấy không? Nam mà thành vốn bộ thân gì là gì? Cảm ơn yang bài ra cho chỗ nào mình người chấp bút hay là yang người chấp bút yang si khai nát vào tuông à đây yung are someone joy muna any by some dam ada mon wadi sama ikla hai bon mo he gom ji ngay không có gì ra lại sao bon mo he gom ji câu gom ji câu á ikla hai khai sama ai ji bari ada lai in bon mo lama mo na joy nang tiếc là gì tuột thôi thì ta tiếc là gì tao phải không câu á khá là thôi thì câu á ta gồm gì ai thì đủ bộ na cái bằng nít bà cầm cầm na chỉ chơi sáng là đã cầm búa thì con mà trên này biết gì gồm gì câu á khá gì Haji, iba kau ke bangada, itu Bombay he, ngada kabar lam, dengan kabar. Sama kawa, tiga saya jam. Ayah nak tadi ibarat kena ada lagi joinan join lagi. Ini lama Bombay ini join Bombay lagi. Yang tiga he, hai sih yang ada item di kampung yang ini kami in kai ni ba. Awak isi nak orang pasti in kami kan isi channel dapat kabawa. Ini ada kom ya ngani dah.
Apa I like ekdam dengnam apa I like enang na ide jen bilai I like them is it. So the story is kind of long. He's been kind of telling a story for ease of the creation, so it's probably take a couple of hours to finish that. So I'm gonna cut it
I
off.
imagine
So the in a brief is that in the beginning there was actually 9 sun and the 9 moon when it was very hot. This earth, the Zambuling, was melted rock. It's a molten rock. So over time that molten rock was iced and then it became water. And so at the water is when the Bonpo self arose. Bonpo is not a human, in the original form. Okay, humans were created much later, so it hasn't got to that point. So when the water formed after the ice, on the water arose a lotus flower on the east direction. In the east, in the morning. In the morning, there was a lotus flower. There was a white lotus flower. That's what the bone was generally were white. And so on the water, the white lotus flower is where through the ray of the sun, the bone arose there. And so, and in the evening, in the west, in the side, at the also on the water, there arose another lotus flower, that is the there the lotus flower is the red lotus flower on which arose the self arising the Lama, the Sangha. And so but it was all water, and there wasn't really anything to walk on. And so the Bonpo called upon the raven. The raven was created at that point. So that's why raven can communicate very, very far away. So you should never harm a raven, okay? And so, and the raven then brings the special type of grass that then makes the water, the earth surface, the land, formation of the land comes out of that. So it's a long story. The water goes like that, and then after that, when the earth was livable, that's when the human was created. So yes, there's a list of the order in which each of the beings are created, and the Bonpo knows it. So maybe we can have that discussion at another time, and maybe just focus on the creation itself. Maybe that that maybe we should leave that for that time.
Yeah, maybe we could do a whole night on that series or something. But I think that we are so blessed to have you, and thank you for translating. Thank you for bringing your beautiful family. I reminded people, I think that we'll let you go because it's early there, and you probably haven't had breakfast yet. Have you?
Not it. So okay. This is here. Whenever we do consecrations or do ceremony like this, we generally not eat until we're done. So
well, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. And I reminded everybody to please send me any other questions that we can get to you later so that you can go and feast. And thank you, Abba, so much. And
thank
there's
you.
many.
Thank you. Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. I know I cannot see all of you. I know Valerie, you said there's 200 plus here. So but just know that you are, we're all one in spirit.
Keep in touch.
Thank you. And my brother.
Oh, the artist brother. Oh, hello.
Yay. Yay.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We love you.
We have to find a way to bring him to the US to travel, come visit us. So next time he comes, Apala with him. So.
Oh, and the beautiful Tonka that he made, he paints those beautiful hand Tonkas too. Wow.
So we have more like my cousin.
Oh my
cousin made this. So if anybody wants, over here, there's a dragon.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
So we need to get this to Valerie, your shop. And so there are many masks that my made.
Oh my gosh.
Here, so.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
There's the tankas and.
Oh my God.
Let's get some in the store.
I have some online store. There's some on the online store already.
There are some there, yeah.
Make some bigger room on your shop, Valerie.
Oh no, no kidding. Oh wow. Woo!
2 stories. Oh, very beautiful. Thank you so very, very much for being with us tonight. And during that my heart opened like the lotus, and thank you so much. And many, many more teachings. We can set up more things with Valerie, and we have a Wisdom Bridge teleseminar that your dad could share all of the creation story the way that he knows it. And we're all feeling so blessed up from my heart to your heart, thank you so very much. And thank you, Lucy, and thank you, Lisa, and Margine, and Valerie, and all those who have participated tonight, all those whose prayers have been joining ours. What an honor to sit here. Thank you for being with us, with all of your beautiful, beautiful family. Thank you, thank you.
Sadly,
Thank you. Thank you, Lucy, for
darling.
connection. So thank you,
Okay. Blessing.
and all of you. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye for now. Have a good sleep.
Bye-bye. Good night.
It's hard to leave, huh?
I know. Okay.
I know.
All right.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Oh, do
Go
that.
to Nepal.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.